So again today, we're looking at a promise, and all this week we will look at separate promises made by the President and the advocates of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Here is what the President said about today's promise.
No matter what you've heard, if you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it.
For 30 years, Bob Moffett has been involved with these kinds of matters in Washington, D.C. He was during the Reagan administration with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which today is tasked with rolling out Obamacare, and is also with the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, during the Reagan administration. He is now the co-author of Why Obamacare is Wrong for America. He's a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation Center for Policy Innovation and joins us from Washington, D.C. by Skype. Hello, Bob.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Tell me, you heard the President's promise. You can keep the doctor you like and the health care plan you have. How close is he going to come to fulfilling that promise?
I would say that we're probably going to miss that by the circumference around the sun. We're going to miss that one. That is way, way off. There's no way that millions of Americans are going to be able to keep their plan. The incentives in the system are hardwired to make sure that millions of Americans who have health insurance coverage today, primarily through the place of work, are going to lose that coverage. And they're going to end up in the exchanges that are being set up in the states or by the federal government.
And in 33 of those states, I guess they're not going to set it up. The federal government's going to have to do it. We in California have a head start. We're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to have an exchange. But let's go back over that. If I have, and I do have, my health care plan at the employer,
right,
what are the disincentives that are going to throw me potentially off that plan?
Well, it's pretty obvious. If you're an employer and you don't offer health insurance coverage, you simply pay a fine of $2,000 for each employee that you do not cover with the health insurance that is approved by the federal government. If you do that, you pay, as I say, you pay a fine of $2,000. If you decide that you're going to cover your employee with a federally approved qualified plan, which is going to be very expensive, you're talking about at least $15,000 or $16,000. So for a lot of employers, it's really a no-brainer. There's no reason why they should pay those expensive health insurance premiums when they can simply pay the penalty and stick the taxpayer with the rest of the tab.
Now, many employers have under 50, the magic number of under 50 employees that aren't covered by Obamacare, and yet in past years, to compete with the companies in their category that are bigger than that, they've offered health plans to their employees and are caught now in a real bind, right?
Sure, they certainly are. And one of the things that an employer has to look at is the size of his payroll and the number of people he has working for him. If he has 50 or more employees, then he comes under the mandate, which requires him either to offer the government's health insurance coverage, or he pays the fine. Well, a lot of employers are looking at their situation and they're saying, look, maybe the best thing for me to do is take a lot of these full-time employees and make them part-time employees and then get them under that 50 full-time employment cap, 50 employee cap. And you're starting to see that right now. A lot of smaller firms, a lot of firms that are kind of mid-sized are looking at their future costs and they're saying, we can't possibly afford this. The best thing for us to do is to basically start to cutting back on employment, start to make full-time people part-time employees where we can. And as I said, if you're over 50, you have to look at whether in fact you want to pay $15,000 or $16,000 for family coverage, or just simply pay the fine, which would be $2,000 or $3,000 depending upon your circumstance.
Bob Moffett with us. Now, you mentioned the part-time, and I know in the fast food restaurants and retail shops and a lot of low-margin groceries, low-margin businesses, this is a pretty big deal. People who have been making 30 hours a week or 40 hours a week are going to be cut down, aren't they?
Well, they're going to be cut down. They'll go into the exchanges, and if they're in the exchange, they will get subsidized. But no matter what that means is that there's two things that means. Number one is if the government's estimate is wrong about the number of people who are going into the exchanges. In other words, CBO has a very low figure. They're saying that in the first year there will only be about 7 7 to 8 million people on the exchange. But if employers actually start getting higher than that, that means that the taxpayer subsidies that go to these people to offset their insurance costs are going to rise. Now, right now, we're looking at, over the next 10 years, a total subsidy cost for the taxpayers of about $1.2 trillion in taxpayer subsidies. This is an enormous spending program, but it could be higher if a lot of employers decide that they want out of the business because they're simply frustrated with the government, and they don't feel that they can meet the government's coverage requirements, and a lot of them can.
And Bob, just quickly, there's also the issue, some of these people won't go into the exchanges, they'll go into Medicaid, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. If you're under 100% of poverty, you go into Medicaid. Medicaid expansion is going to be very significant. We're looking at a total expansion of approximately 11 million people in Medicaid. So Medicaid will be the largest single health insurance program in the country. It's
Now,
a welfare program.
With that in mind, then, you've got some people going into Medicaid, you've got some people going into these exchanges and getting subsidies.
Right.
The cost of this thing is going to balloon out of sight.
It's going to explode. I mean, one of the promises that the president made was that he was going to bend the cost curve downward. In other words, we were going to see health care costs start to go down. We were going to see health care made more affordable. We were going to see health insurance premiums decline for the typical family. At one point, well, on more than one occasion, the president said that typical family coverage would decline by the time he entered his second term by $2,500 annually. Now, none of this is coming true. We're looking at much higher premiums, especially for younger people, because they're going to be paying a lot more for health insurance because they're going to be required to buy a richer package of benefits.
Yep. All right. Now, Bob Moffett, we're going to keep in touch with you, but it's an important week.
Yeah.
You've kicked it off, and I appreciate your being with us.